I'm Tia Borden with MiningIR, and joining me today is Clive Massey, President and CEO of Atomic Minerals. Clive, thank you so much for joining me again today.
Thanks very much for having me, Tia. It's nice to see you.
It's always a pleasure to sit down with you. Now, we haven't talked much about Atomic Minerals. Can you give us a bit of an overview of the company?
Certainly. It's a company that I founded approximately a year ago, trades on the TSX Venture exchange. I formed it specifically to take advantage of what we thought would be a rising uranium market and to put a portfolio of uranium assets together.
And what was the draw to uranium?
Well, we see a looming worldwide power crisis as a result of so many countries adopting, various pieces of legislation in relation to electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are beginning to proliferate, and we see nuclear power as really the fastest path to solving this looming power crisis.
And you currently have two big projects on the go. Can you give us a bit of an overview on both of those projects?
Certainly. I'd love to. We have the Lloyd Lake project, which is in the Athabasca Basin. Historically, the Athabasca Basin has been a very prolific area in terms of production for uranium. This is what I would call advanced stage exploration project. We just completed some work on it recently and released the results of that work. Our other project is in the Colorado Plateau in the United States, the Dolores anticline, and that really is the company's main focus at the moment.
And can you tell us a bit about the Colorado Plateau and what states it encompasses?
Certainly. The Colorado Plateau is an area which encompasses a portion of Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Nevada. And it has hosted in the past very large, prolific uranium discoveries. In fact, the Lisbon Valley anticline, which is geographically situated in Utah, produced 77 million pounds of uranium during the 50s and 60s and 70s from 17 uranium mines. And this area produced more uranium than any other area in the United States, as well as the thickest mineable widths and the highest grade mines until the discovery of the Athabasca Basin.
I was going to say, you did mention offline that uranium is produced all across the world. This just seems to be a hot spot.
Well, the reason we've selected this area is that, as I mentioned, the Lisbon Valley anticline was, in terms of production, was extremely prolific. In terms of its geology, it's a salt wash anticline. So is the Dolores anticline. It's the same geological structure and has the same geological control features as that of Lisbon Valley. We were blessed with a large amount of historical technical data, which we inherited, and it indicates there are, in fact, ore grade intersections on our claim blocks. So from a technical standpoint, we are in the process of putting a drill program together. We'll be applying for permits in the not too distant future and a budget for this drilling.
And what is the jurisdiction like?
It's essentially a mining-friendly jurisdiction. It's a very economically depressed area, so people welcome mine production and exploration in these kinds of areas as a result of it creating jobs.
And you did touch on quite a few points, but what makes this project so significant?
I think probably that it is the same sandstone unit runs through this salt wash anticline as that ran through the Lisbon Valley anticline. So the likelihood of there being a very large ore body there is extremely significant. The same fluvial systems that laid down the uranium deposit at Lisbon Valley would have flowed past the Dolores anticline as well. And so there's no reason to believe that the same size ore bodies couldn't exist.
Now, offline, you also talked about the strength of your team. You also mentioned that you have 4 geologists. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Certainly. First of all, this is not the first uranium company which I've been the CEO of. We had a very successful uranium company in the last uranium run-up, which was Universal Uranium. And I essentially recruited some of the same team. Dick Dorman is specifically a uranium geologist, worked for Atlas as well as SMDC, which was the predecessor to Cameco. He also worked for Areva as well. We have Foster Wilson on our board of directors. Foster is also a geo, past CEO and president of Mesa Uranium. And we also have Mark Steen as a consulting advisor to the company. Mark's father actually drilled the discovery hole at Lisbon Valley. Mark grew up in the uranium business, attended the Mackey School of Mines, and also is a uranium geologist. And then we also have Tim Henneberry, who is a very experienced field geologist as well. So we have a very strong technical team, and our uranium expertise is also reflected in our board of directors as well.
And outside of having such a strong team, what else sets Atomic Minerals apart from other companies?
Well, in my view, it has a great share structure and is at the moment significantly undervalued. When you consider our 56 million shares, that gives us a market cap of roughly $2.5 million. If you are a proponent of strengthening in the uranium price, which I believe very strongly is coming, the last time the price ran up, it ran up very, very quickly, and I think it's going to do the same thing this time as well. As adoption rates of electric vehicles continue, and we have Gavin Newsom recommending to people that they don't plug their electric cars in, the demand for more power is going to become increasingly evident, and really nuclear power is the only way to solve it, in my view. And there are a number of countries, beg your pardon, who have adopted a philosophy to either permit, construct, or build nuclear power plants. There are 445 currently either in the production phase, the planning phase, or the construction phase. And at the moment in the market, there's an 85,000 kiloton shortfall between supply and demand. So I think that the price is going to rise dramatically when it does.
Clive, obviously, if the investors that are watching and our viewers want more information, they can go to the website. However, is there anything else that you'd like to share before I let you go today?
Tia, I think we have covered it all today. I think it's been very comprehensive. I appreciate you taking the time to interview me, and thanks very much.
Thank you so much for all the information. And as always, it's wonderful to chat with you as well. Have a great
pleasure.
day.
Thanks, Tia. You too.
Bye.
Bye.